What's the deal with influencer marketing in 2024? No, seriously, I'm asking because so many people are confused with the industry constantly changing. If you're new here, hey, I'm Amy. I travel full-time while creating content, and today I'm here to explain to you what influencer marketing is all about in 2024 as someone who is a small to medium-sized creator on various platforms. Influencer marketing is essentially another way of saying sponsored content or brand deals, but there is a lot more to it. It's honestly just when a brand wants to work with a community online, whether that's big or small, and promote their product or service in some way, shape, or form. It's a great way for brands to reach engaged communities online while creators have a chance to earn some extra income through these partnerships. Because this industry is pretty new, there is so much gatekeeping going on. And honestly, I find it really annoying as a creator who's trying to figure out rates, how to sell myself, how to sell products and services, and not really having an industry standard and people being really secretive. I think people get like this because they think there's too much competition out there and that certain brands won't want to work with them because they'll have better options. So I think this comes from a place of insecurity and a lack of confidence. But if you're confident in who you are as a person, what value you provide to your audience, then there's no reason to be this way. And that's why I'm going to do my best to share everything I know about this industry in future videos, this video, one of my past videos, as well as my regular travel content. Gifted collabs is how a lot of people start out in this industry. And let me just get into a few things that you want to keep in mind if you're going to pick up a gifted collab. First of all, you should never be posting more than 1 or 2 stories or 1 reel or 1 TikTok for something that is gifted. And you should definitely keep in mind if it's a product or service that you would like to use and if it's something that's relevant to your audience. I can't even tell you how many emails I've received for gifted products, and you need to make sure that they're going to cover the shipping and taxes because sometimes they don't, and you don't want to end up paying for a product that you weren't going to buy in the first place. You also really shouldn't have any posting requirements when you are doing a gifted collab because once again, it's gifted. You are not getting paid to do this work. So therefore, you should not be doing that much work in exchange for the free product. A lot of brands will try to hype you up and say that it's a great way to grow your audience or blah, blah, blah. But don't sell yourself short and don't do a lot of work for free products. It's easy to see gifted collabs as an opportunity to get paid work, which can sometimes be the case, so don't write them off entirely. However, do them sparingly because you don't also want a bunch of random crap that you don't need. So choose them sparingly, choose ones that you actually want, and don't do a lot of work for free. Moving on to affiliates, I actually spoke a lot about this in my previous video, so if you haven't watched that already, check that out when you're done watching this video, but I'm going to dive into it a little bit here. Affiliate marketing can be a little bit of a trap, but it definitely depends on the brand. I always recommend looking for a high ticket affiliate, which means that you will be earning a good amount of money or commission per sale. So it's not really going to be worth your time if you are doing affiliates that only pay like $1 or $2, and they will sometimes hide the amount by saying it's 20% or 50% of the sale or whatever. If it's something that doesn't cost very much, you're not going to make a lot as well. So make sure you're looking for the higher price ticket affiliates if you want to earn some good money from this. Also, a lot of brands will want to work with influencers on an affiliate marketing basis only. In my opinion, that's so that they can avoid paying the influencer outright for the video content, the photos, whatever, that they're using to promote it. And I really think this is frustrating and not fair to creators because they put a lot of time and effort into the videos and the content that they're producing. So you really need to weigh the pros and cons when choosing an affiliate and think about if it's worth your time to create the content, if you're going to have people interested in buying from you or not. Usually it starts out pretty slow, it's like a trickle, and it will build up over time if you are constantly promoting it. But I would only recommend promoting products or services you use regularly so you can integrate it easily into your content strategy. Otherwise, I hate to say it, but it's going to be a waste of your time. Alright, so getting into UGC, this has blown up in the past few years, especially with TikTok, because brands can't keep up with all the content that they need to make. They want lots of video content these days, so if you have little clips of your travels or whatever industry you're in as an influencer, you can also start selling this content as UGC. The difference here is that the influencer is not posting this content on their own platform. They are selling the content to the brand so the brand can post it on their own social media. So they are not getting access to the influencer's audience. Instead, they are just sharing it with their audience because they basically don't have the time or resources to create that content for themselves. And because they are not accessing a new audience, they are getting a discounted rate for this content. That means the UGC video content while it will range, it's generally a few $100s for one video. This obviously depends on the creator, the type of content, and there is a bit of a spectrum, but you can kind of assume a UGC video will be like $200 to $500. Despite this being a lower rate for content than an influencer would typically charge, it's generally worth it because they have the opportunity to increase their overall price with the brand by adding on UGC. So think of everything as a little add-on, and when you're putting together a rate sheet, which you would be sending to brands, that would be on there as an option. All right, I'm looking a little ghostly now because the sun keeps coming in and out, so don't mind that. But let's move on to brand deals, which are the bread and butter of an influencer's salary, so to say. There is so much I could say about brand partnerships and paid sponsorships, or however you want to say it, but I'm going to make this section concise as I can. If you want a longer video about it, let me know in the comments so I can make that for you in the future, but I'm going to keep it short just to give you the most important bits right now, and if you have questions, just let me know. So influencers will work with brands to promote their product and service through the sponsored content. Usually it's a video, sometimes it can be photos, it really depends, and it also depends on the influencer's audience size, their engagement rate, their audience location, and a few different factors depending when it comes to the price and what they would charge. The most common thing that a brand will purchase from me is a TikTok or a Reel, and for my audience size of around 110,000 between Instagram and TikTok, this is what I charge. I charge $1,300 for one TikTok and the same for a Reel, but you can see I also have different add-ons where I charge for whitelisting, ad usage, exclusivity, UGC content, stories. There's so many different options, so you can just take a look. One thing that isn't on there is long-term partnerships, which is when, for example, a company wants me to produce 2 TikToks per month for 6 months. And this is a great way to ensure you're gonna have some solid income because it definitely fluctuates a lot as an influencer or a content creator. So this is great. And in this case, you would typically lower your rate to increase the probability of a brand wanting to work with you long term. And I don't really have a specific way of doing this. I kind of just feel out the brand. I look at how big the brand is, I look at what their budget might be, and I consider different things when working out this price. But to give you an idea, I previously did a 6-month partnership with a company where I think I was giving them a few TikToks per month. Let's just say it's 3 TikToks per month. I can't really remember what it was, but if it was 3 TikToks per month, usually I would be paying them, or I would be charging them $1,300 USD per one video. But of course, it's a bundled rate and it's a long-term partnership. So instead of charging well over $3,000 for the 3 videos per month, I ended up probably charging them like $2,000 at the time, maybe even a little less because I had a smaller platform. And that means by the end of the 6 months, if it was $2,000, I would be making $12,000. Wow, that took me a long time to get there. Math is not my strong suit. So basically you can see this is a great way to make sure you're earning more money in a long-term partnership. One thing I didn't really touch on from earlier was the ad usage and exclusivity. These are amazing ways to increase your rates. I turned a $2,600 partnership into a $10,300 partnership, mostly due to a 5-month exclusivity, which means you can't work with other similar brands within that time period. So it makes you look like you really care deeply about this brand and you're not just promoting every single similar type of brand out there. But you need to figure out your rates with this because you need to decide if it's worth it or not for you to do the exclusivity. If you can make a lot of money working with lots of similar brands, you can charge more for exclusivity, but you need to keep in mind that the brand might not want to pay that much. So you can see on my media kit and my rate sheet what I charge, but this is always kind of changing depending on the size of the brand. So while the previous things I just discussed are the main ways a lot of influencers make money, I'm going to tell you a few other ways that I currently make money and other influencers do as well, so you have some other options. So you could be selling digital products, you could be selling the rights to images or videos for marketing purposes, you could be using YouTube and getting AdSense from YouTube when you're monetized. As a Canadian, I don't get a single cent from views on TikTok or Instagram, which sucks. So that's why I am currently growing my YouTube channel to be monetized and get some extra money this way. You could also have a blog and work your way up to monetizing a blog. You could host group trips, which is something I recently did. And there are so many other ways. I'm always working on expanding my influencer business and finding new ways to monetize, so I'll keep you posted if I come across any other good ones. But in the meantime, these are the ones I'd stick to and look into if you are an influencer or trying to get into the industry. When it comes to earnings, the great part is that you can pretty much earn as much as you want, and it really comes down to how you're going to monetize and your strategy. You can pretty easily earn well over 6 figures if you are promoting different products and services, you have your own digital products, you are on different ad networks, and you know how to diversify your income. I personally don't like to shove down products and services for my audience because I just don't want to be too salesy, so that definitely holds me back when it comes to income. But I think long term that can affect you negatively if you're constantly selling and it makes you look a little less authentic. So I do kind of keep that in mind when I am choosing different brands to work with. After recently hosting my first group trip to Iceland, I really enjoyed it. I had a great time and I realized it's a wonderful way to earn money as an influencer, no matter what your niche is. So if you have people that want to travel with you, they want to learn from you, you can host workshops, you can teach them things on these trips. It's a wonderful way to make money. I had the best time and it's definitely something I'm going to dive into further down the line. Thanks for making it all the way to the end of the video. I appreciate it so much and you have no idea how much it means to me. It allows me to create videos like this for you every single week. Make sure you subscribe if you want to see more travel content and influencer content creation tips because it will be here pretty much always on Wednesdays. I'm a little bit late with this video, but I usually post on Wednesdays, so I will see you in the next one. Bye!